his style of football is very offensive. Like it's very like rock and roll, push high up the field. If you want Nagglesmann to work, you're gonna need like there's not a single player in this team that I look at and think maybe it can work out. Maybe Dallo.
No, I think Dallo for sure. That's the first player that came to mind.
The Zerbi ball, Potter ball, it ain't gonna work with Rashford in it. And the thing is, you're gonna put the manager in trouble before he even puts pen to paper because at the end of the day, Rashford's the poster boy.
Yeah, you're right, because Rashford should be one of the first players out the door. And the reason why I say that is when you look at Arsenal, when they were rebuilding, all the players that kind of had the majority of the influence, they shipped them. And I think that Rashford's got a lot of influence by default because he's been at the club for a long time. The same as Luke Shaw. We're gonna spend money this summer in it, and we're gonna move players on. I just think, bro, these men need to make a statement with outgoings and also incomings and the manager, bro. Like we just need to be ruthless, bro. But bro, when I'm critiquing players, it's because you can do better, bro. Everyone makes mistakes, bro. Man, I see Pep make mistakes all the time, bro. It is what it is, bro. In his head, he thinks he's doing the right thing, but bro, no one's perfect. Man are gonna make mistakes. Man are gonna do things that are peculiar to us, so we're gonna think, you know what? Why is man doing that? It's part of being a football fan, bro. Now everyone's got an opinion. It doesn't mean it automatically it's an agenda. And I said the same thing about Kobe Mino. Like I'm a massive fan of his. I bought his shirt, bro. But there were times in the last game I saw where he was getting caught on his heels because he was almost too relaxed. And you can tell that he's used to playing at a slower pace of game when he's playing with his age mates. Now he's playing in men's football. He just needs to be a bit more on his toes, a bit more twitchy, bro, because he can't use his body to get out of problems like he did when he's playing with kids, bro. You're playing with big man now. You can't just be receiving the ball on the back foot or flat-footed and a man comes and just lean on him and stuff, because you might be big playing with your age mates, but when you're playing with these 6'4" flipping behemoths, bruv, in the Premier League, it's a different ball game. He nearly got caught on the ball a couple of times, and that's a player that I really love watching. But as soon as I said that, I said, yo, like he needs to be a bit more switched on. And that man was saying, oh, Rants, he's only 18. Shut up, man. He's playing men's football, bro.
Yeah, I think it's just like modern day society, especially like when it comes to football. Like you can't, if you criticize, it automatically means you hate. If you praise, it automatically means you're a fan, innit? Yeah. At the end of the day, you can always like just speak on things in isolation. Like you speaking on Kobe, you're speaking on Kobe against Fulham, not Kobe as a whole, innit? And I just feel like people need to, you know what it is? It's one of those things. Yeah, people understand it. It's just, do they want to understand it based on like whose mouth it's coming out of? That's where the main difference is. Yeah, but with Ten Hag, it's, trust me, you can go down the player power route, you can go down the recruitment route, you can go down the structure route. As much as some of them do have some legs, the one that stands out the most is just sit down, put the game on. You know what? Go to a game. I've been to games this season, and funnily enough, the structure is shocking on TV, but in the stadium, it is 10 times worse because just you see things so much more clear when you go to Old Trafford. And when you look at the ground, bro, when you look at the ground that needs to be covered, like if you've played football, you know that ground is not a joke, especially when it's the 80th minute and you're tired.
TV don't do justice, how big the pitch is. It doesn't.
That's what it is, bro. And it's like when you go, like I remember when I went like before Christmas, I was like, wow. Like I was like, I knew there were problems with the structure. I knew there were problems with the press. But then when I watched it, I was like it just cemented it for me. I was like, so you could try and blame many people as you want. At the end of the day, like we've seen games where more than 50% of the team have been his signings and we lost. We've also seen games where more than 50% have been Oli, Jose signings and we've lost. At the end of the day, I can ask anybody right now, what's Man United's best 11? And you'd struggle.
Yeah,
you would struggle because it's not a matter of personnel. It's a matter of structure, because at the end of the day, a flawed structure will make ballers look shit.
Facts.
A good structure will make shit players look good. And with Man United at the moment, fair enough, we've got shit man, but we've also got a shit structure. And it's no surprise we've lost 10 times in the league.
Yep, there you go. And this is what it is, people. Obviously, a manager that we've been linked with here is Julian Nagglesmann. The rumors are coming out saying that they like him because he's young, he's got a clear style of play, etc., etc. Obviously, these lot know I'm not the biggest fan of Nagglesmann, but I said if we do end up with him, I'll give him a chance to prove me wrong. Like, where do you sit on Nagglesmann?
Nagglesmann I like, but at the same time I don't like. Like I feel like to be fair, it's under a new board. His style of football is very offensive. Like it's very like rock and roll, push high up the field. If you want Nagglesmann to work, you're gonna need like there's not a single player in this team that I look at and think maybe it can work out. Maybe Dallo.
No, I think Dallo for sure. That's the first player that came to mind.
Dallo, Kobe. Like at the end of the day,
Yeah.
for me, like Kobe's still not the player that he'll become in it. Like at the end of the day, it's all about developing him, nurturing him. So the young players are always welcome to stay. But I don't look at any player like above 20. Dallo, fair enough. Like for me, he's shown this season. You want to play counter-attacking, I'll do well. Build up, I'll do well. Ask me to tuck inside, I'll have an impact. No one else do I really look at and think, yeah, you're guaranteed to stay. But are Man United willing to go down that direction where it's like the report today that came out that United are planning like more than 10 player departures? If that is the case and you do bring in a Nagglesmann, and fair enough, it can work. Whether or not he can take the team back to like competing and winning trophies, I don't know. But like the philosophy, it does stand ground in the modern game. But he's gonna need like
insane backing
in terms of signings and departures. And yeah, but I'll be real. Nagglesmann, like, don't expect anything in the first year or two. Like the way he wants to play, it might actually take 18 months just to drill into these players. So if we get Nagglesmann, I'll say it from now, maybe third season, I'll be like safe. Now let me see what you're cooking, because the way he wants to play, it's gonna take a while unless you go out and sign him players that play for teams that play in the way that he wants the team to play. But those players will come at a price, which I don't know if these guys would be willing to pay.
Yeah, no, I hear it, but that's what I'm saying. So I don't really know what's going on, but I said like the way these men are moving, with the recruitment side of things, I'm excited to see what they do. All I know is from what I'm feeling from everything that's coming out, this manager's gone for sure. Because they talk about the style of play, they're talking about attacking, and Ratcliffe was saying, bro, Man United need to be playing the best football, bro. So they're looking at the brand of football as well. They don't just care about the results. Obviously, the results are not great, but the brand of football is not good, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And when you bring in someone like Barada, there's no way that he's going to be like, all right, cool, we're going to continue and we're going to persevere with this Ten Hag ball, whatever it is. So it looks like we're going to get a new manager. If this is the shortlist of the three, I'd take De Zerbi. However, if we get Nagglesmann, like I said, guys, bro, like I'll give him an opportunity to show me what he's trying to do in it, because I'd rather a manager that has a philosophy than a manager that don't have one. Like even Ralph's thing. Ralph was the rock and roll thing, and it's not my favorite kind of football. But when he played the 4-2-2 against Crystal Palace and we absolutely smoked them in the first half, I was like, you know what? Even though this is a bit too frantic for my liking, and I do prefer watching the way that interplay and the way they keep the ball, like I can get behind a system that's frantic if it works.
I think before they appoint a manager, they need to just sit down and go through the players. That's what I would do. Probably like, because as much as I hate to say it, I think if you decide to keep Rashford, you need to know like the Zerbi ball, Potter ball, it ain't gonna work with Rashford in it. And the thing is, you're gonna put the manager in trouble before he even puts pen to paper, because at the end of the day, Rashford's the poster boy. And this is what I mean when I see United need a major clear out, And if you want to be smart about it, which players do you want to keep? If you decide you want to keep a Rashford, then at the end of the day, fair enough. Just get a manager that plays to Rashford's strengths, which has more to offer, like in terms of.
But don't you think Nagglesmann, Rashford can play in a Nagglesmann system, but Rashford needs to improve his work rate. But he's got the attributes to play in that system.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, that's where they're going to have to make a decision, because Rashford is no 22-year-old that you're probably looking at and thinking, like, at the end of the day, The reason why I said I would keep the younger players is because younger players, this is the age where they do develop, where they do grow, where you can rebrand them in a sense. Yeah, bro, you can't. Rashford is like what, 26, 27. You can't go up to a 26, 27 that's popped onto the scene at 18, played head down, run into man, cut in, shoot. Sometimes it goes in, sometimes it doesn't. That plays for himself. You can't turn around at 27, 26 years of age and tell him, listen, from now on, you start doing this. You cut this out and you add this to your game. And the question is, even if he agrees, how long is it going to take him to become that player? Because, imagine it takes him a year. This 26-year-old will be 27. If he is 27, he'll become 28. And a player like Rashford, where 50% of his game, or let's say more than that, relies on physicality, if that begins to go, then by the time that you've rebranded this guy, how much are you getting out of him? 1-2 years? Was it worth it in the first place? Probably not. So that's why I'd keep the younger players, because even if you take 1-2 years to rebrand the younger players, to get them to play your way, Kobe will be 20, learn how to play a particular way. You've got a whole decade of Kobe. And that's why, I'll just go through the list and I'll be like, who we keeping, who we not keeping. If it's a matter of trying to reduce the amount of money that they spend and they're going to try and keep players around, then just get a player that works to these players, innit? Of course, like a manager that's more disciplined, a manager that can get more out of them, like a hands-on coach. But if it's just a clean slate, everyone is gone. Or if you stay, you're going to be judged off 2 years, similar to what Barada said. Then just go get a manager with a good philosophy. And at the end of the day, I'll always know if these men don't pull their weight, they're gone. But I'll be honest, even on the new boards, fam, I look at some of these men and I just think, you man are not leaving. I've always said Rashford's going to be here by the time I fucking have
to. You're right, because Rashford should be one of the first players out the door. And the reason why I say that is, when you look at Arsenal, when they were rebuilding, all the players that kind of had the majority of the influence, they shipped them. And I think that Rashford's got a lot of influence by default because he's been at the club for a long time. The same as Luke Shaw. Players like that, if you really want a fresh start, you fuck them off. That's what you do, because they're going to have an influence on the younger players. Remember, players like Kobe Mino and stuff like that would have grown up seeing Rashford as the one that got through before them. Do you know what I'm saying? It's Rashford's face on the wall. These kind of guys, the McTominays and that these younger players are looking up to, because they saw it as, like they got through to the first team. Now I'm here, bro. Them man you need to get rid of, bro, because they're influential, bro. That's what people don't realize. Whether we think they're good or not, these men have influence, bro. Don't think that Rashford don't have influence on Kobe Mino and these men, because he does. McTominay, Luke Shaw, these men have influence on these young players. But like someone said in the chat, because of this homegrown quota as well, like, what do we do? If we get rid of them, we're probably going to have to replace them with English players. And you know what the English tax is like already. And there's no real good English players out there that I would go out and spend money on. So it's a bit of a sticky one. That might be the only thing that keeps them here.
Yeah, no, that's what it is, bro. Like, when you look at every team, every single team, they're always pushing this like homegrown thing. Like, you look at Manchester City, whenever they do well and this and that, the first name that gets mentioned is Phil Foden from the academy and fair enough. Like, he's holding his own ground, in it, so he's worth the praise, in it, Arsenal, anything that happens well, Saka, Hell End, and this and that,
and then Rice, the English team.
Chelsea, you look at the time, it was what, like the Reece James, the Mason. Actually, I don't think Mason Mount was on.
Yeah, it would have been Reece James, Mason Mount, and then Conor Gallagher came through later.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, Conor Gallagher. Now they're trying to throw this like Alfie guy prop and this and that. It just paints a better story, in it. Like, they would love to, like, Man United win the league, and it's like Rashford has 25 goal season, and it's like Rashford dragged United out of the mud, homegrown. Rashford will do an interview about, like, I wanted to get Man United back to where they belong. I've been watching them since I was a kid. Bro, it's just a good story. And at the end of the day, that's what they live for, because, like, not even trying to be like racial in a sense, but, like, you see so many teams out there, they don't want foreigners, because they're like, fam, like, these foreigners don't understand what it means to play for Team A or for Team B, but fam, them foreigners are techie. Them foreigners will win you that league. Because these men come here with one job and one job only, to play football. Facts. They don't come here for anything else. I'm here to do a job. So at the end of the day, like, football in the UK will always favor stuff like that, like homegrown and this and that. And that's why for me, like, Rashford is here until he decides he doesn't want to be here anymore.
Agreed.
That's what it is.
Agreed. And that's the problem, unfortunately. The fact that Luke Shaw can last 10 years here without really contributing anything in the grand scheme of football tells you, yeah, how this institution's been set up. So I feel like we need a big casualty in the summer. We need a big one. It needs to be Bruno or like a Rashford or something like that. I think, bro, I'm hopeful that it's Bruno, but we need a big casualty. We need one of the players. Like I wouldn't even say like there's rumors of Casemiro and Varane getting moved on, but even if they get moved on, those are not big casualties because they haven't been there very long, and also they're past their best in terms of, bro, they've already gone and won everything there is to win pretty much in football. Them man don't give a shit. But moving on someone like a Bruno or a Rashford or a Luke Shaw, we need a proper statement to be made to let man know that, listen, mediocrity is no longer going to be tolerated here. Because at 29 years old, Bruno's not going to get any better. I don't know a system in world football where I would say it's a Bruno system because he's just not a good footballer. Like, I don't know a style of play that I would say, would get the best out of him, because I don't believe you can get the best out of a footballer that doesn't like the football. I don't understand him. I don't understand how he is a professional footballer. I'm so bemused by everything that he is that I cannot see any coach wanting to coach this guy, bro, because he's not technical and his attitude stinks as well, bro. Like, we just lost the game. We lost the game to Fulham. The guy's always cheating. He's always rolling around. He's always complaining to referees, bro. He's exactly the opposite of what we're trying to build. Like, we have to get rid of this guy.
I think Bruno and Rashford for me stay. As much as I've been saying, I've got a feeling Bruno goes in the summer. I don't know what it is. I have this feeling that Bruno might go, but I don't think the board or anyone at United are looking at the Brunos and the Rashford. I think they're looking at more. I've always said the highest earners at Man United have got a big bounty on their head. They've got a massive bounty because these guys are going to try and reset the wages.
Rashford's one of them, though. They did say that they want to change the contracts to performance-based.
I think Rashford will be the only one that survives in it. And I think it's because they're just going to look at him and be like, Rashford, Man United, this and that, cool. Like, we'll roll the dice on you. I think all the other high earners from the Sancho's, Varane's, Casemiro's, I can't remember who the fifth one was. There was another fifth one. I think those guys.
Varane, Cass, De Gea's already gone.
There's another one on 300. There's another one on 300.
It's only Martial. That's it. No, not Martial. Martial's on less than that. Rashford. It's only Rashford. It's Rashford, Cass, Varane, Sancho, De Gea.
Yeah. Those are the four on 300.
And De Gea's gone already. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are the four on the 300 plus, isn't it? I think Rashford's the only one that survives. I think the other three United will get rid of. And then I think it will be like the McTominays, like we've got players out on loan. Like United will try to get maybe like 5-10 million for them. It'll be those types of players that go. But Bruno and Rashford for me get one more year. Bruno because he's captain. Now at the end of the day, the new manager is not going to walk in from day one and be like, "You're not my captain anymore." They will definitely give him.
He has to.
He has to, but
yeah.
I don't think he will. I think it's, as much as we might support him being a bit too ruthless, I don't think as a manager going into it, he'll be like, maybe this isn't the best way to start things. It's a clean slate. Let me see what you can contribute to me as a captain. Yeah, so Bruno gets a year. Rashford gets a year. Everyone else for me is who goes in it. But I'll be honest, at the end of the day, as long as you improve the squad as a whole, over time, I feel like the cracks will begin to show in it. And like Bruno will like force
play his way out of the team.
Yeah, exactly. He will force himself out of the team because if you want to play a particular way, captain or not, similar to like when Jose, Valencia, he wanted to play a particular way, but Jose realized you're captain, but you can't do what I want you to do. Be the captain on the bench. And I reckon that will happen. But any manager that pays any heavy importance to Bruno, which is your captain, and I can't bench you, then you're setting yourself up for failure. Like, captain or not, treat him the exact same as any player on the bench. That's it.
Yeah, no, 100%. But that's what you got to do. You got to bench him. You got to bench him 100%. And I think that could happen because if it is to be Nagglesmann, I'm hoping it's De Zerbi and not Nagglesmann. But if it is, and he's going to get the backing to bring in whoever he wants, because Jim's kind of made it clear that there's money. And also because he's come through with money, it's got FFP off our back. We're going to spend money this summer, innit? And we're going to move players on. I just think, bro, these men need to make a statement with outgoings and also incomings and the manager, bro. Like, we just need to be ruthless. I don't think there's a time for this gently approach. Like, even stuff like getting rid of people like Darren Fletcher and stuff like that. Fuck him off, bro. What's he doing here? Even Ralph said, I don't know what this brother does. He said it when he was here, and he said it in a press conference. So, he ain't got no respect for him, because he literally said, I don't know what he does. He's supposed to be like some director or something or what, and the brazen tracksuit bottoms on the training ground. Like, I'm confused. Like, I don't understand what's going on at this football club. So these men need to come in. They need to clean house upstairs, and then on the pitch, man need casualties. I don't even care if it's players that I like that they get rid of. I just want to see movement, bro.